Welcome to Building the Perfect Mind podcast, where we empower individuals from all walks of life to unlock their full potential. Join me on a transformative journey as we explore the intersection of neurology, personal development, and cognitive behavior. Together, we'll discover the inspiration, drive, enthusiasm, and ambition to help you achieve your goals and unleash your inner greatness. From enhancing focus on productivity to cultivating resilience and mental well-being, we'll dive into practical strategies and mindset shifts that foster personal growth and success. Get ready to upgrade your mind and unlock a brighter, more fulfilling future for yourself and the world. On today's podcast, we will talk about something very imperative. Many a times I get confused when I do some things and I lose focus, and I tend to do other things in between things I'm doing and things I have to do. And I used to doubt myself that I could ever actually achieve something because of the fact that I get distracted. Although I do achieve things, but then after so many distractions, that's when I achieve them. Today's podcast is on attention deficit hyperactive disorder, or the way they put it is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. In the short form is ADHD. What is ADHD? When one says that someone was diagnosed with ADHD, they would obviously take it as, oh, it's a mental disorder, oh, he has a mental problem, oh, this, oh, that. To take it lightly, I would say ADHD is not really a problem because it can definitely be dealt with easily. It's somewhat of a complication, a slight complication, if you may. ADHD basically is a neurological or neurodevelopmental disorder that it basically affects attention, the control of impulse, and the hyperactivity, being one who does one or two or multiple things at a time. So it's one of the most common childhood disorders, which affects 8 to 10% of children and 4 to 5% of adults. So it's quite important that I have this on this podcast, because being one who has ADHD, you have been diagnosed with that, or you diagnose yourself based on your characteristics for a period of time, you are to handle that. And I believe that it can be handled, can be controlled, both psychologically, spiritually, and also physically. It builds everything. It basically is controlled around everything we do and how we, engage in everything we carry out in our sphere of life. So ADHD can significantly impact the mental well-being, also the relationships and the daily activities in one's life. So understanding this is having the knowledge that there's something that should be done. So effective management and strategies can help us, because I believe I have ADHD, in some levels. Most of the time, you see that you have a task you're doing. ADHD actually has levels. But there's time I have a task when I'm trying to focus on the task. I'm doing it next minute. A slight buzz on my phone. I pick it up. I completely pick it up and I completely lose myself, because I'll be completely engulfed in that thing on my phone, and I just lose track most of the time. Now getting myself back is a bit of a war, and I'm glad that mine is not the highest level of the ADHD, but then again, it's there. So how do I tackle this? I have to also understand what the ADHD is. So as I mentioned, we have to effectively manage it, and we have to apply the strategies, which is imperative. And in controlling this, it will definitely help us build that perfect mind. So no one is exempted from building the perfect mind, even if you have ADHD. So understanding ADHD is basically understanding that there are levels to it, and there are the different characteristics of this. So The symptoms of ADHD is number one, inattention, which is basically the difficulty in sustaining focus, following instructions, and completing tasks. So it's it's actually a lot. It's a lot. Another is hyperactivity, which is excessive fidgeting, restlessness, and feeling constantly on the go. Yeah. At a time in my life, a friend of mine was always like, bro, guy, bro, every time, guy, you they shake your leg too much now. Yeah, that actually got me. That actually got me a bit, feeling bad. I was like, what's wrong with me? Every time I'm always shaking my leg. Every time I'm always this, I'm always that. But now I'm understanding ADHD. I know what I had. So another characteristic or another symptom is the impulsivity. So one could be very impulsive, being that he makes impulsive decisions. You maybe interrupts others. Maybe you blurt out answers instead of following the cultural way. And there are types. As I mentioned, there are types of ADHD. There's number one is the predominantly inattentive ADHD. You understand? They call it ADHD PI. So it's primarily, inattentive symptoms. Basically, you lose focus easily. Then there's predominantly hyperactive impulsive. That is ADHD PH. So it's primarily hyperactive and impulsive symptoms. Then there's combined ADHD, which is a combination of inattentive and hyperactive and impulsive symptoms. I know all this is very theoretical, and I believe that it's good that we have this understanding. And the causes is one thing that many people are wondering. What is the cause of ADHD? So genetics basically is one of the causes. You understand? Genetics, the brain structure and function, environmental factors. Sometimes it's also nutritional. The causes could be nutritional. So these are all the factors around the causes. So there are many challenges to ADHD, as we know. Many challenges. But I'll quickly run through this because it's something that if we understand. We have to completely understand it. We have to know the challenges and whatnot. So there's always difficulty with focus and attention, impulse control and self-regulation, and organization, time management, and planning. There are struggles with completing tasks and meeting deadlines, following instructions and rules, maintaining relationships and social connections, and which obviously has impact on the daily life and school performance or work performance, mental health and well-being, self-esteem and confidence. See, all these things are painful, actually, if you look at these challenges as that. But I'm going to give us strategies which I believe will help us, strategies that will help us build the mental strength that will help us evolve from this, and certain technological applications that could help us conquer ADHD to a certain level. Again, ADHD is a problem, but we don't want anyone to see it as a problem. We can handle it. You understand? We can handle it through a certain disciplined approach. In the strategies is, we know obviously that there are medical ways to handle this. And many a times it's due to the way we view it and the way it is given to us to handle. So number one is in the medical is the stimulants and non-stimulants. This is one thing that people use. The stimulants help you to be completely aware and completely have a certain level of focus on doing things. I don't advise this. Then the other strategy is behavioral therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy, precisely, is one way to also, face or manage the ADHD. Number 3 is lifestyle changes. Lifestyle change is one of the ways that I advise people to also follow through this, which is one of the ways I recommend and I use. So number 1 is regular exercise and physical activity. Being that ADHD is basically hyperactivity, meaning you have a lot of energy. We have to channel that into disciplined regular exercise and physical activities. Healthy sleep habits and stress management. Healthy sleep habits and stress management. As I'm speaking to you, I am speaking to myself. So all these things are things that I believe that would help. So another strategy, number 4, is accommodations and assistive technologies. Accommodations. So extra time on tasks and exams. These are ways to deal with it. You understand? Note-taking assistance and text-to-speech software. Like I said, assistive technologies, they help. You understand? They help with this management. So the last one, number 5, is mindfulness, self-awareness, and self-regulation techniques. Again, mindfulness is very, very helpful. So we have to understand that in meditation and deep breathing exercises are ways to bring about that mindfulness. And self-monitoring and self-evaluation. There are some applications on the phones that people use to check how their sleeping culture is. Some people, they stalk in their sleep. Is part of the ADHD. Is part of ADHD. So it's how we tackle that is actually very important. One of the things I like to talk about is building mental strength. Building mental strength is one powerful way to manage ADHD. Number 1, we have to develop resilience and coping skills. In developing resilience and coping skills, we have to learn from failures and setbacks and practice gratitude and positivity. ADHD is not a problem. Let's not say it as a problem. It might be, but let's not see it that way. We are to tackle it with a positive mindset. Number 2 is practicing self-compassion and self-forgiveness. Again, this is to build mental strength that will help us manage ADHD. So we have to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding and letting go of self-criticism and guilt. All these things are things that make us completely lose ourselves. Number 3, last, is setting realistic goals and celebrating achievements. There's this thing that I learned from the Mindset Mentor, that's Rob Dial, and he says there's this dopamine award system, and there's one way to help us resolve these ADHD and to help us build a mental strength. We have to do things that will help us, acknowledge ourselves. You understand? To acknowledge and reward our progress. So I would quickly run through the technology and tools. So there are many ways, there are many tools, many tools and many techniques. But number 1 is the productivity apps and organization software. To-do lists, Trello, and Evernote. These are things that helps. You understand? Number 2 is mind mapping and brainstorming tools. The MindMaster and XMind. These are brainstorming tools. And number 3 is focus enhancing browser extensions and website blockers. Yes, these things can also distract one. You say, let me check this thing on the internet, and you be going to check something else will pop up, something else will, you just get lost. That messes everything up for us. So ADHD is that one can easily be distracted. Yeah, one can just enter, maybe just pick up a phone, you want to make a phone call, and you get lost. Next minute, be like, what did I want to do with my phone again? That's ADHD. That is ADHD. So, in conclusion, my beautiful and amazing people, I would like us to understand that it can be managed. ADHD can be managed. And it's not something that we will manage on our own. Yeah, let us also know that we can involve people to help us do this. We can tell people like, anytime I lose focus, anytime I deviate from something, I'm going to pay you $1,000 or 1,000 naira. You see, it could help. It could help. There's a friend of mine that started that thing. He says anytime that he doesn't do this, that he'll send me 20,000 naira. He has not sent me 20,000 naira till today because he has always done that thing. So, the quest for us to build the perfect mind, I would like us to understand that is a deliberate effort to control this. ADHD can be controlled. So I believe that we are to seek that support. You understand? Seek it. You understand? You could also seek therapy. Me, I seek therapy from very experienced people too, because it's not something I believe I can handle alone. I talk to people. I understand that ADHD is something that many people take lightly, especially in a country like Nigeria. So, on building the perfect mind with ADHD is very, very, very possible. We can build that mind. You understand? We have to embrace the strengths we have and develop upon them. You understand? There are strengths to ADHD. Yeah, there are strengths to it, multitasking and the rest. But then again, we can be better multitaskers with a well-managed ADHD. So, and I would like for us to also understand that a growth mindset can be developed. Make the deliberate effort to develop the growth mindset with your ADHD present. It's possible. You don't see yourself saying, oh, I cannot do this, I am this, I am that. Self-doubt doesn't do that. Self-doubt doesn't do that. Self-doubt would never help you manage ADHD. So that is one beautiful thing about, building the perfect mind. You have to know fully well that you can do it. You can do it. Not your brother, not your sister, not your uncle, not your family member, not your friend, but you. You can build a perfect mind. And I would like us to understand the importance of the supportive network and community. Have supportive friends around you. Have supportive friends around you. And I would like you also to remember that even with the ADHD, let us make it a point of duty to make someone's day better. Yes, send someone a meme, send someone a reel, make the person laugh, say hey, hi, hello. And that will definitely help. Just know that I appreciate you and I hope that you have a blessed day. Yes, I hope that you have a blessed day. You, my amazing listener, I love you so much. Please do well to always share the podcast, hit the follow button, and recommend this podcast on your social media platforms. Thank you very much. I am your humble host, Hagen Ojukwu. Thank you very much. On to the next podcast.